Hello. This morning, 24th of December, as part of the 98th annual conference of the Music Academy, we had two, what to say, one was a performative lecture, the other was a lecture of discussion. The first one by Nedumpully Rammohan and Meera Rammohan was about the ragas in Kathakali. What was very, very beautiful about the way they presented the lecture is they sang and showed us the identities of many ragas within the Kathakali genre, within its oeuvre. So, we heard some ragas that we're familiar with, some we're not familiar with, some that are purely Kathakali ragas. Every one of them having their own distinctive characteristics. And the most interesting part for me was how, because this is part of the vocabulary of theatre, of telling a story, of dance and drama, how even normal sounds became part of the tonality that the singers articulated. The movements also were more in attune with what was needed for Kathakali. Also, the dynamics of ragas that they use, in the sense that you could have a raga like Thodi, which we don't associate with, say, romance, be part of a romantic scene. Or ragas that can have multiple identities. The other interesting thing was how they showed us that the emotive quality of a raga completely changes from when we sing it in like normal tonic shruti, or then we just change it to the madhyama shruti, and how the entire soundscape of the raga just transforms just by that movement. How speed changes emotion, how the number of lyrics or syllables within a composition changes emotions, how in the modern world new ragas have come into Kathakali, how they've adapted from the Hindustani tradition, from the Carnatic tradition. But I think what was a very important takeaway, at least for me as a musician, was that ragas belong to everybody, belong to all genres. And within every aesthetic body, they find their own expression because the artists see them differently, use them differently, share them differently. So, Thodi is not a Carnatic raga, not a Hindustani raga. Thodi is a raga which has multiple features and characteristics depending on where it is functioning. The second lecture was by Amrita Murali on looking at ragas across compositional forms. We think of a raga and say in that raga there are so many compositions. That's it. But we don't investigate whether the raga itself changes according to the compositional form. It's a bit of a chicken and egg story. Is it the form, compositional form, that is changing the raga, or is the raga changing because it's moving? We don't know. But compositional forms have requirements, ragas have requirements. But ragas also change their features depending on where they are being used. So a raga in a varnam is not the same as a raga in a kirtana. A raga in a kirtana is not the same as a raga in a padam or in a tilana. And I think this was brought out quite beautifully by Amrita Murali. She did not, I think it was great that she used a few ragas as examples. She also looked at interesting sangatis, prayogas, that are found in certain kinds of compositions in a raga, but not found in another. So what is so specific about it? And why is it only in those kinds of compositions? These were all important for us to think about. She played recordings of Veena Dhanamal playing Begada Varnam, T. Vishwanathan playing singing Janaro. And these are also samples of how musicians have interpreted music, whether they learned it from an oral tradition or from a written tradition, but how they made it themselves, and depending on what composition they were singing, how they changed the way they sang it. So this also is a question of saying, should there be greater insight into whether all ragas can be used in all compositional forms? Are certain gamaka movements more ideal for certain speeds, not ideal for certain other speeds? These are things we don't think about usually. We apply one thing for everything. This is it, let's apply it everywhere. But maybe there needs to be a more critical way of looking at it and more incisive thinking in terms of how we handle ragas and their characteristics. So we had a great morning today. Thank you all for coming. You've been coming in large numbers, and the interaction with the audiences also have been, I think, quite fabulous. Of course, it's great to see so many young musicians in the audience and participating and learning and sharing. Thank you.